Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and you should take note of the bottom right hand corner of your screen because now available over at flipsidegaming.com you can get yourself a sweet 10% discount if you order over $10 worth of products. They sell Magic the Gathering, Pokemon trading card game of course, some Star Wars products as well as lots of gaming accessories, so head on over to their website and you can get in on these sweet deals. Okay, on to today's video. We are going to be profiling Xerneas BREAK. I know I've shown off the deck in my latest video, but I still feel that playing the deck is something different entirely and will hopefully educate you a little bit further in how this deck functions and why I eventually chose it for one of the biggest events of the year. So, yeah, let's jump straight into the deck, starting off with the Pokemon as always. We're going to go for 4 of the basic Xerneas. He provides the amazing Geomancy attack. We're able to choose 2 of our bench Pokemon, and for each of them, search the deck for a fairy and attach it to that Pokemon. Excellent acceleration, because this deck is trying to ramp up a bunch of energy onto all of our Pokemon on the board and simply start swinging hard with the Break evolution that we have. So he is our ultimate lead because Geomancy is so good, and eventually he becomes our main attacker because we Break evolve him as well. He does have a baseline 130 HP, which is pretty tanky, nice for a basic. Also has that dark resistance, which is pretty crucial because Zoroark Grampa is an important deck in the format right now. The Indianapolis event was topped, well, it was won by a Drampa Garbodor, and when Drampa Garb is successful, that probably means that Zoroark Drampas will be around trying to counter them. So we are sort of wedged in the middle of having quite a good Drampa Garb and quite a good Zoroark, actually a very good Zoroark, so yeah, very good typing for us. The Rainbow Spear attack is one that you could use, but very rarely. 2 fairy and a colourless does 100 and you discard an energy. It's very rare that you'll ever use this attack because Livestream is looking to get one-shots, so bear that in mind. Then we are just throwing 3 of the Xerneas BREAK. It is effectively like a stage 1, right? So many stage 1 decks play a full 4-4 split, and it is something I've considered, but space is more of an issue, and unlike other stage 1 decks where you want to evolve straight away, we probably have 2 or 3 turns where we can just sit around geomancying, and when we're doing that, there's less pressure on us finding our breaks immediately, so I'm happy with the 3 count. We also play 2 super rods if it ever becomes an issue. However, this has 150 HP, a little bonus for us, which is nice, and its attack livestream is the crucial thing to note here. For 2 fair energy, we deal 20 times the amount of energy attached to all of our Pokemon, so when we're spreading the energies via Geomancy, getting elixirs, attaching for turn, Exp sharing when our Pokemon are getting knocked out, it pretty much means that we just ramp the board up until we get into 1-hit KO range and we start swinging. Very similar to Turbo Darkrai's mentality and how they try and win games. We do the same thing, 20 less base damage, but we're a non-EX, so I'd say that's a pretty fair trade. Okay. Then we have 2 Tapu Lele GX. The Wonder Tag is of course excellent. It can grab us things like Brigette, which is super important, so we can get Geomancying onto valid targets, and getting us just any other supports that we need, as well as being an alternate attacker. Energy Drive does 20 times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. Very good stuff. Normally he's just going to sit. We can put 1 or 2 energies on him just here and there because we want to be adding energies to the board whenever possible. So Lele can be a great target for that because he doubles up as a good attacker as well. Brilliant card. Then we are playing 4 little one-offs in the deck as well, which may seem like kind of misfits, but I'll talk about why they're in the deck specifically. Let's start off with Regirock. It has the Omega Barrier ancient trait, the exact same one that Primal Groudon has, which means the opponent can't Lysandre this guy up or Field Blower off Exp.Share. This is very important because it means that we can slap Exp.Share on this guy and just pretty much start committing energy to him with no concern of it getting wiped off the board unless we're up against something like Greninja or Decidueye. So he just sort of chills on the bench and builds up a bunch of energy. You can't Enhanced Hammer DCs, so that's also a safe target for Regirock. He's good in general because he just means that you're not leaking damage and you're not scared of Field Blower as much. But he is specifically in the deck because of decks like Metagross, which have 250 HP. This is a hurdle that you just can't get over unless you pile like 8 energy onto one of your Pokemon. And when you do that against everything but a Regirock, it means that they can just Lysandre, KO, we lose too much energy, even with lots of Exp.Shares on the board. So Regirock is the safe zone where you can just go, you know what, Regirock's going to end up with like 8 energy in this matchup, but that's fine, because we need that amount of damage to win the game. Ironically, Metagross isn't actually that bad of a matchup from testing, because it only takes them like 3 turns to attack you, and when it takes them 3 turns to attack you, it means you've Geomancied a bunch, and you've had manual attachments, and you've had elixirs, and by the time they do announce an attack, you can probably one-hit KO them back, so it's just, yeah, not actually as bad as it seems. That's one of the question marks I always get about Xerneas. A lot of people say, oh, don't you just lose to Metagross? And it's like, no, not really, not really. And that's mainly thanks to Regirock. So, then we have 2 of these Psychic-type attackers. One of them is the Mewtwo from Evolutions. With this attack, Psychic, dealing 20 plus 20 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. This was thrown in here as a tech for Espeon Garbodor, and I still believe it's a valid tech to put in the deck, because Espeon Garbodor is additionally a popular archetype. It was the deck that cut the most out of any other in the North American Internationals, so still a deck that we definitely have to improve our matchup with. Additionally, he's just another Pokemon that can attack. It sounds really sad that that's the case, but when you're only playing 4 Xerneas, a lot of them get knocked out via Geomancy. You end up really having like 3 break Pokemon to finish out your game, and if they don't get the job done, you're left with things like Lele and Mewtwo, and Mewtwo can sometimes be good enough against other things. With the Choice Band, DCE, we can Psychic to KO Espeons, but in general he can like 2-shot things as well. You don't even need to one-hit KO Espeons in this matchup. You actually need to go very passive. No, what's the word? You have to go, not really passive, but you have to go not for really the full one-hit knockout approach. You pretty much want to Geomancy once, and then you just use your Psychic attackers to 2-shot early on, and then late game you're getting the one-hit KOs on live stream, because oftentimes they move into Garbodor regardless, because they can't keep up with the EX or with the 2 prize trades. So really you just use these early Mewtwo's and stuff. This Mewtwo's a check to the Espeon. It basically means they can't put 3 energy on themselves unless they're gonna bring this up and confuse it, or bring this up and KO it. So pretty good news for us. It's a good one-off for sure. And we have the Oricorio, which is also a Psychic type, which means with the Choice Band, Revelation Dance can deal 120 to an Espeon GX, which is again pretty important. It's one of the reasons why we can be very aggressive against that archetype in thanks to our Psychic Pokemon. This is also the tech attacker for Vespiquen with the Supernatural Dance. Once they start throwing Pokemon into the discard pile, this card gets very powerful, and we can spread them out. Naturally, you would think that we don't have great matchups against other non-EX decks, because it's harder for us to sort of chain our attackers. Well, it's not too hard, but we oftentimes have to spend turns Geomancying. But thanks to the Oricorio, we can keep up very nicely against the Vespiquen. Thanks to our high HP and resistance, we keep up very well against Zoroark. So with our tech Pokemon attackers, I also feel fine against Espeon Garb. And with careful item usage, we can also be okay against Grampa Garb, especially if more people are moving over to Tord Reklev's list, the winning list, where people are not playing Magma Base. It means they can't hit 150 till turn 3 guaranteed, which means that we can get plenty of Geomancies into play, which is great news for us. The final one-of is actually going to be Oranguru. This has been thrown into quite a few decks here and there just to end-proof yourself. Here is no different. He has the Instructability allowing us to draw until we have 3 in the hand. Excellent for us. The deck can sometimes jank out. Even when you are thinning the deck of all your Fairy Energies via Geomancy, there are still turns of clunk and awkwardness, and Instruct hopefully helps us out. It also means you can just go all in on Brigette a lot of the time. You can Brigette for like 2 Xerneas and an Oranguru, even if you have no other supporter in hand. Because it's so important for you to get Geomancy going that sometimes you just say, you know what, Brigette's my only supporter, let's go for it. Or like you have one Ultra Ball, and you just go Ultra Ball, Lele, Brigette, and you can be fine with this even if your hand is dead, because you know that you can Instruct into more cards and hopefully draw a way out of it. So yeah, Oranguru is great. Even on like early opening turns, I've found myself Instructing for like 2 cards and getting myself back into a good hand. Again, he can be a nice dude that chills on the bench all game with the Exp.Share, attach a casual energy here or there whenever you have to. The Psychic attack is also an option, 60 plus 20 more times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active. I have found myself using that in a similar way to Mewtwo, and the Lele, you can sometimes find yourself attacking with Oranguru, which is quite funny. Onto the items, we are playing one Nest Ball. It's just to supplement and find more Pokemon. There are plenty of times when you can't Brigette turn 1, you simply don't have access to Lele, or it's prized or whatever, so just having this extra bit of search, especially because we have so many different one-ofs that are important for matchups, it's nice to get the Nest Ball secured on the board, just to get more Pokemon, more targets for Geomancy early on as well. So you're pretty much happy to see Nest Ball all game, especially because we recycle, especially our Xerneas, quite a lot with Super Rod. So even seeing this like mid to late game, it's still absolutely golden because you've got to cycle your Xerneas. Next up, we are playing 2 Super Rod, very important for recovering our Pokemon lines, because as I say, we normally spend the opening turns Geomancying, so we are often sacking at least one Xerneas, and at the same time we can recover energy if we've had to Sycamore them, or if we've not found Exp.Shares in time, etc. Super Rod's going to be excellent for this, so that we can maintain enough damage to finish out the game, which is pretty important. 3 Max Elixir, I've cut from 4 to add in teammates. This is the one change I made since going to the internationals. Exp.Share is still important, very important if you don't lead Xerneas, because you need to find Exp.Share Garden and move into him, going second of course. But additionally, he's just an extra 20 here and there. If you're able to hit it before Geomancy, you have very high odds. Doing it after Geomancy, you have fairly low odds, unless you've just used Super Rod to reset them. So using these in careful spots is important, but it's basically just more ramp for you, which is pretty good. We are then playing 3 versus Seeker, and this is going to be used to re-spam our supporters when need be. There's not too many that we need to do. We can chill on our hand quite often. I'm choosing not to play 4 just because of Garbodor more than anything else, and space is an issue because this is quite a tight list. Even though we're playing lots of tech Pokemon, I believe they're all really important spots. We are then playing for Ultra Ball, just the standard stuff. 3 Fairygon allows us to freely move between all of our Pokemon. This means that we don't worry about the Regirock start quite as much. Doesn't mean that Oranguru is too detrimental to us, especially if we can hit Elixirs on our bench Xerneas and just move into Geomancy anyway. So great synergy there, and it means obviously we don't have to pay retreat between our attackers, and that would otherwise be really bad because we need to keep energy on the board. Let's look at a few one-offs. Brigette is a really crucial one-off. I've debated going to 2. At the moment it's still a Nest Ball, but it could be just 2 Brigette because it's so important just to spam the board of all your Xerneases in the first instance, and then at the same time I found myself VSC cream Brigette a few times here and there just to get your tech Pokemon into play, or just more targets for Geomancy. Even in mid-game, like I say, you Super Rod, then you want to find more Xerneases and start attaching to them, so Brigette can be your best friend. Very, very strong card. The 1 Hex Maniac is really important for the likes of Metagross and Vikavolt Tapu Bulu, which are already fairly awkward matchups for you. I said that Metagross is fine, I still stand by that, but Hex obviously helps you get there. Vikabulu is one of the most difficult matchups for us, and we need Hex to really balance us out. Also Volcanion at times. You can actually tank hits from Volcanion if you Hex and you have the 150 HP, or at least force the Turtonator, which is pretty cool for you as well at times. The introduction of teammates is something that I've really wanted in the deck. We have some precise turns where we need to hit Exp.Share, we need to hit Choice Band, we need to hit our break, and when we're only playing 3 break evolutions specifically, it's important to dig these out of the deck and hit your combo pieces. It also means that you can much more consistently get things like DCE Band Mewtwo for 1-hit KOs, and we're always dropping prizes with this deck because we're sitting Geomancying. It's very Greninja-esque, where your opening turns are very defensive and then you go on the offensive on turns like 4+. So teammates is going to be great for grabbing the specific cards we need to reach just, you know, whatever we need on the specific turns. Teammates is going to be great. The 2 Lysandre, we're much happier dealing with 2 prize Pokemon than 1 prize Pokemon. Lysandre's going to help us get there. 3N, we're a defensive deck, so I'm happy with a fairly high count, and for Sycamore, just some good old discard, dump and draw, get going, find your pieces, all that good stuff. 3 Choice Band, the +30 is of course excellent. We're trying to scale up into 1-hit knockouts, and the bands are going to help us do so. And just the 2 Exp.Share, I've kind of flirted between 3 and 2. Before I put the teammates in, it was actually a 3rd Exp.Share, but 2 Blower is becoming more and more common, so I'm happy with a 2 count as long as you can secure one of them on Regirock, and I feel that teammates can help you do that because you can search it out at the right times. So Exp.Share, very important card for making sure you don't leak damage, but it's specifically important on Regirock, pretty much, where it can be safe all game. 2 Double Colorless, it's a buff of 40 damage for us, which is important, as well as helping us attack with Mewtwo and Lele, so pretty decent. And just the 12 Fairy, plenty to hit Elixirs with, have early on for Geomancy, and have targets throughout the game for Geomancy, and have enough to livestream because it's just a 2 Fairy cost, so very simple stuff. Let's look at a few tech Pokemon. I think this is where the deck, more than anything else, will look to change. I believe the items are fair. I actually typed in Pancake. I need to type in Snorlax. Do I have one? No, I don't have one. There he is. The Pancake Master himself. The deck originally was Pancakes. Basically, with the addition of Brigette, it gets a lot more consistent than it used to be. But the deck used to be all about the memes, and you could finish off games with Pulverizing Pancake, dealing 210, sending yourself to sleep with Snorlax. Ultimately, you stack up a bunch of energy on Regirock, and then you just pancake people. It's still an option in the deck, honestly. There are times when I've wanted Ninja Boy in here, but you can see the list is already tight. I'm already low on things like Exp.Share, DCE. These are all important cards in the deck, I feel. So I don't really find space for Snorlax Ninja Boy combo, but if you really want to, you can go for it. There's also Pseudo Wudo that you can play in here. One of our more awkward matchups include things like Rayquaza and Mega Gardy, because they can hit from turn 2. Even Ray can be it from turn 1, and they can get 1-hit KOs, and there's not much we can do to stop them. If we play Pseudo Wudo, it means that Gardy pretty much can't go for 1-hit KOs. Well, they can actually, but they have to just keep one Gardy around, which is awkward for them, and Ray is capped at 120, so it improves both of those matchups and stops them just cycling through with like Mallow Shaman combo and Dragonites every turn and such. So Pseudo Wudo, pretty good for those matchups if you're feeling they are going to be popular. There's also the option for Machoke in here. Greninja ended up winning seniors and coming second in juniors, and also top cutting masters. So that deck's coming back into the format. So having Machoke to prevent their damage from everything but the active could be very good for you, seeing as though you have 150 HP. They can do 60 plus 80, which is 140, and we have 150 HP. So that could be really nice, whilst being protected on the bench. Whilst at the same time improving your Decidueye matchup, which, you know, also succeeded greatly at the weekend. So Machoke could be good for those two matchups. Again, like I was saying with Snorlax, I just have an issue of space right now, where I don't really want to put a 1-1 line in too quickly. I think I'd have to take the Mewtwo out as the first Pokemon I'd take out. Potentially the Regirock if you're not expecting many Metagross. But again, with Drampa doing well, Metagross is kind of a good call right now. So Machoke could be thrown in here if you're worried about Decidueye and Ninjas. And finally, there is the option to go with this Giratina for Greninja if you're just expecting them. But you could also go for this Giratina for the Renegade Pulse, and you could switch up the DCEs to DDEs and start Chaos Wheeling in the deck. Chaos Wheel would improve your Mega Rayquaza. At the same time, it would greatly improve your Vespiquen to the point where you can cut Oricorio, and your Gyarados to the point where you don't need Oricorio either. So this could be thrown in here if you're happy with DDE. The only issue being you can't bridge it out. Well, you have to bridge it just it out, which would be terrible. And DDE can only go onto Giratina, which means you're putting physically more 2-prize Pokemon on your board, like every game, because you need to put Giratina down because you need the damage via DDE, and that can sometimes make you struggle against some non-EX decks. Things like Zoroark could be an issue. And they can like Lysandre up Giratina, replace Stadium, and then Chaos Wheel, and then you have to pay retreat on him or attack with him, and both sound really bad. So that's why I've not gone for Giratina, just a few specific things, but in general I found it to be weaker. Trainer and supporter wise, I think mess around the counts rather than adding new cards. I think the counts I'd want to increase is like Garden, Exp.Share, maybe VS Seeker, but those are really it. I don't feel like there's any supporter that I'm definitely like missing that I definitely need. So yeah, that is going to be the list. Let's jump into the ladder and start finding some games. Hopefully we can hit some Drampa Garbs, some Zoro Garbs, some Espeon Garbs. These were the things I was looking for throughout Indie, and I ended up only facing one Zoroark and no Grampas or Espeon Garbs. But hey ho. Looks like we're up against Metagross. Normally I wouldn't be too worried, but this hand is pretty bad. We do get to go first at least. We kind of need to top deck like Ultra Ball here, so we can get a turn 1 Brigette. Oh baby, just a fairy. Can I afford to Sycamore? I might hold off for one more turn. Let's hold for one more turn. So detrimental to get rid of an Elixir and effectively a choice band as well, because it's not really worth it on Lele. We can't attack anyway for Geomancy turn 1, so it's not too terrible for us just yet. So we'll see if our opponent has to N or something. Could be the dream. Maybe they're just debating the core beam at this point. Okay, I'm going to Sycamore. Tang and Candy hits the discard pile. Not bad. Not bad for us. Choice band. They can do 50 turn 1. And it pushes them out of Lele range because they discard from themselves. Genius. Xerneas top deck. Broken. Okay. It's going to have low odds. Never tell me the odds. Okay. Do I even want to attach an energy this turn? No, I don't. Just want to attach this band. Sure. We want to attach to something better than this. And we do have something better than this. Unfortunately, we can't Oranguru down. We could pay retreat Geomancy. But it's back onto 2 really bad targets, so I might just stay active and pass. Awkward hand. Okay. Bad start for us, bad start. Interesting, would I have done it if I'd had Fairy Garden? I probably would have. Probably would have. We're still in desperate need of Brigette. It's going to be another core beam. Who knows? Stretcher for Matang. They can ram us. Oh boy. Another Sycamore coming in. Get rid of a bunch of supporters. They had the option to end, chose not to. I guess they were sufficiently pleased with our poor hand. Yeah, just gonna get rammed for another 50. This Lele's getting crushed by the mini pieces. Okay. This is good, because we're going to be dumping another one. Don't have space for Oricorio, so I'll just attach to Oranguru for now. We need to find some basic Pokemon. Oh no, we're in trouble. Okay. Both of these can go. Is Brigette in here? Yeah, I might need it. Might well need it. He's quite likely. Well, he only has 1 metal in the discard pile, so he's not huge. Well, he is hugely likely, actually. He is hugely likely to get a KO on us. And we've not been able to establish the board, which is a problem. I can bench Lele to instruct for 1, but it sounds terrible. We also haven't been able to find the Exp.Share. So many whiffed things, it makes me sad. Let's see if they can go Metagross, Metagross Energy. Just Metagross Energy, actually, enough. They're going to Brigette. Here we go. Here comes the gang. Let's pray for another slow turn. Attachment to bench is a good sign. Means they can't attack unless they can discard another energy and find 2 Metagross. Maybe just a ram for 40. Oh baby. That is excellent news. Elixir, we have such low odds. Never tell me the odds. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I think I'm actually just going to hex. We can instruct first for 1 card. Good card. And Oranguru just lets us do these stupid things. It's great because now we can carve through a couple of potential Metagross early. He's lost a stretcher, so this could be good. It forces a beacon turn always here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. It means he's not on the offensive for another turn. Even if it means we're not Geomancying. It means next turn I can retreat Geomancy onto other targets. Hopefully build up that way. Yeah, just going to attach and beacon. 16. 16, 19. Ooh, nice card. If I'm taking N always here, or am I taking Lysandre? Lysandre could be really good. I can only afford to Lysandre if I can get another energy attachment, I feel. We're going no Regirock YOLO. And we're going Lysandre YOLO as well. Missed energy. Issues. We'll deal with them later. Deal with our issues later, right? Try and limit him in how many Metagross he can come out with. Seems like a plan. So now he needs to get 2 up, or again 1 and an energy. Here's 1. We know he has 2 in hand. It's just if he has candy. There's an attachment. Geotech systems. Choice band. And here comes the Giga Hammer. So, in theory, he shouldn't be too able to do stuff next turn. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21. We can go to 21 if we teammates out break plus band. 21 isn't that helpful. We are still going to teammates though. I don't want to attack with a break this turn. I'm going to change my play completely. I want a Geomancy instead. Oh, I only have 1 in deck. Okay, maybe I super rod. We'll do this. I probably shouldn't have attached the DC so quickly. Should have teammates first. Figured out my play. This is fine though. Now we can do it this way around. I think 3 Xerneas should be enough to get me through the game. Only 4 prizes left. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay, let's see if he can candy Metagross, pay retreat, attach, Geotech, attack, or not. I'd love him to Field Blower here actually. This is like a perfect spot for Field Blower. So it can thin a card for us. Okay, here's Lele. Lele for Skylar for Candy, probably. I would imagine that. Ranger. Well, that'll do it as well, I guess. Jeez. 22. So I need to find Break Band next turn. If we find Break Band, we like instantly win the game. But our hand isn't very good. Still crossing our fingers for that field blower though. No. Bit wishful. No, N is really good. Come on, N. Be a pro. Be a beast. Oh, it's good. It's very good. Regirock hype. It's going to be a pretty good Oranguru. Got to get one of our 2 bands. 15 card deck, 3 draws, 2 bands. Not high odds. Problems. So now I have to retreat into Regirock, I think. He's really unlikely to have Lysandre plus Candy and all that stuff, so. Let's be a man about things. Man of action. Okay, they have Ultra Ball. Band Blower. They held Blower. Or they top decked Blower. One of the two. But I'm imagining he top decked Ball. I'm pretty sure he would have played Ball last turn. He's debating what to take here. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he was looking for just a Metang before like a Sycamore. I'm speculating at this point. Mimikyu. Huh. Well, that's a non-EX. That's annoying. It's gonna be a pay retreat Filch. Could be a pay retreat Filch here. Oh, it's gonna be an algorithm. Yeah. Tapu is doing nothing, so the only thing about the algorithm is it still leaves him active to get blown back. I think Filch would have been actually better there, or Beacon, one of the two. So it's down to the Oranguru again to see if we can move our Regirock now. Okay. Come on, last fairy. How hard could it be? How hard could it be to find Fairy Band? Fairy Band. Thanks, deck. My fave. Big bang wallop. Seems good. 270 equals lots. Should have field blowed when he had the chance. Would have forced me to dig for 2 cards with Oranguru. Would have forced me to discard a break, which would have been horrible. I wonder if his algorithm was prepared for times like this. He can candy Metagross 1, but he has no more acceleration. He can do 80 to us. Even Copycat doesn't work, like it doesn't do enough. So, I'm not scared of 1 Metagross. Why did he promote Tapu Lele? I'm confused. I have 2 prizes remaining. I'm so very confused. This is where we realised he algorithmed for blower Lysandre, and I'm like, whoa. Even that doesn't win in the game. He still has to pay retreat. Fortunately, he can't Lysandre this guy, thanks to his trait. So I'd only be paying 2 retreat at the worst. Which is still bad, but it's okay. This is where he's figuring out how meek and grim his situation is. Yep. Whoa. 2, 4, 6, 8. How does he ever not lose here? Tell me how he doesn't lose here, team. Let me have a little think with me old noggin. Okay. Blow means he doesn't technically lose on board. 24. Fortunately, this was a prize. We still have a abandoned deck, remember? So we could have dug for it if we hadn't taken this prize. We also have a DC in our prizes, which is also like hugely important in this matchup because 40 damage is really important when we have to ramp as hard as we do. Here we go. Gonna see an Ultra Ball. What more Pokemon recovery does he play? If he only plays 1 stretcher like a Karen, that's like some of the most standard stuff I'd see. I think he's in a lot of trouble. I think he's in a lot of trouble. Yep, just the pass. G to the G. Kapow. Nice. Nice win against Metagross. Didn't face any of them on the day either. I would have loved to have seen their face as they realise it's not a good matchup for them. We drew so poorly and we still won. That's just the power. The power of live stream. Let's get a couple more games in. If I'll ever be allowed to. There we go. Nice. Nice win. Good work, Xerneas. You hit hard. And you won. What a pro. I going ham. Love that name. That is phenomenal. Let's see if it's true. Or will we, in fact, be the ones who go ham? If we ever load. What's going on here? Come on, game. Not today. I don't think I've ever had TCG crash on me while I've been recording. I don't know if I've streamed, but never when I've recorded. Oh no. Is this the first? Is this the first time? No. No. Let's just get into another game. That wasn't going to load for us. Let's try again. Can't sit around here waiting, wasting your time and mine. Doesn't sound like a good idea. Let's find some real games. Here we go, flipping the coin, winning the flip. Starting Oranguru with Brigette It's over. It's over. See a Regirock. We can show him our own Regirock. Oh boy. We have prized Oricorio. We have both of our rods, that's important to check. One Lysandre's prized, one banned, one Exp.Share, and one DCE. Okay. Yeah, gonna be just a pass. Keep the Ultra Ball for Lele next turn. See a float to the Regirock. Gonna see a Sycamore. Want to learn more about this deck. Wow, that is a hand of supporters. More Regirocks. What's going on here? Turbo Zygarde, maybe? Turbo Regirock, it looks like. There's nothing we like to see more than an opponent having a slow turn. That is like the ideal thing we want to see. Is it best for me to just discard the rod here? We haven't prized any of our Xerneas pieces, and we know we have our other rod. I think it's best. Because it's much better for us to attach Fairy to active than DC active, because we want to find Garden. So that's what we're going to go for here. The Regirock I felt was important to put on the board because we only have one Exp.Share. And now that he's here, we know that it'll always be going on to him. Oh, I could have instructed for one. Whoops. Oh no. Didn't hit the stadium. We can only thin our hand down to exactly 3, so we can't instruct our way out either. Which means we have to pass. Attaching the DC and paying retreat to guarantee it is not a net gain of any energy, so I don't feel bad for not doing that, but just a little hiccup for us. No Exp.Share yet, just yet either. Our opponent is playing Lycanroc, it looks like, with Shaman. Shaman is a joyous Pokemon to see on the board. Love dealing with Shebe. It's an easy 2 all day and all night, unless he can bench over 5. This turn, which he probably can because he's Sycamore. Wow, lots of supporters in the bin. He's drawing into just supporters, it looks like. There's a retreat in corner. Oh no, we've been cornered. I'm going to have to psychic this guy. The plays. He's found our weakness, which is actually not a weakness. DCE plus Exp.Share. Let's go. Garden does nothing. I will Nest Ball to find Xerneas though. Seems fine. I don't mind too much about just spreading energy around the board. If he wants to KO me, he can. One blower has gone. Do I really think he plays more than one? Probably. He's quite ability focused. He can play 2 quite happily. I can get Lele off my own board now. I will, because it means I can also get a Oranguru draw. If I want it. He probably does play 2 though. I don't mind. Instruct. Oh, that did nothing. Let's pass. So in theory he can bring up this guy and KO with his GX attack. I imagine that's what we'll be seeing here. Here's the Bloodthirsty Eyes. He could even bring up Regirock. That's something we have to be careful of actually. Regirock isn't the safe haven that I'm used to. He actually chose this one. I wonder why. Oh, he's not going to GX, he's just going to Claw Slash, that's why. 2 Regirock in play means he can do this. Yeah, here comes the Claw Slash. Let's just promote Xerneas. So spreading energies is more important than ever because he can Lysandre everything. If I put Lele down, maybe that baits him to take that as the 2 prizes while we just set up energy. It also means I can Sycamore, which is much more aggressive. What do I need this turn? Only really Exp.Share. But it's important enough, I think, to dig for with a 2 prize Pokemon. I could also just teammates it, actually. Teammates out Exp.Share plus VS Seeker, I guess. Seems good. And then just finish on the old Geomancy. I'm going to put the energy on the Lele as well to maybe entice him in. He should go here, but he might go here or here. I don't know. $200 shouldn't be too hard for us. There's also a potential for us to try and find a break to try and force him to GX, but it's so likely that he can find another Lycanroc that he can just bring up whatever he wants. He's actually going to Lysandre. That's always an option for him also. Yeah, it's going to be the correct target. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 130. So I need teammates for Rod, and I already have Ultra Ball. Okay. So bad that DC is not safe anywhere. So bad. I think I'm just going to secure a manual attachment. Going to sack N. I think we can just instruct into stuff. Just energy. Should have kept N. Whoops. Okay. Now do I have to go both breaks? 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, I drew into the energy so bad. I think I only have 2 remaining in deck. Regirock's so important. I think it might be Guru. So the ramp is happening. 19. So if we can only knock out the active, we can KO a response. Okay, as VS Seeker. Oh, Sycamore. But you can still find Lycanrocs. Not a great matchup for us. The corner was such a risky play from him, but it paid off. Oh, we can knock him out though. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah. N response. Oh, Sycamore response. It's risky because I need to No, I won't do it this turn. Not this turn. Live stream. Okay. Step 1. You still have the GX attack remaining, so you can KO this without a problem. It's just the next break is going to be his issue. Here comes another Lycanroc GX. Actually, with strong energies, he can also KO this. Would he activate any target here, or just go for the active? Just the active seems like the logical choice. Yeah. His own Oranguru hits the bench. VS Seeker. And or Sycamore. Oh, he plays teammates as well. Groovy. That's going to get him that strong energy, I imagine. One would assume. Field blower. Maybe he targeted the Exp.Share. Maybe it doesn't matter. It kind of matters. It does matter. Let's just go with it matters. Let's play 4 choice band. Yeah. Interesting. Claw Slash. Gonna get the KO with the strong and the 2 Regirock supporting him. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. The stadium is gone, but we have one. 16 to 19 with DCE. $16 to 18 is so much better for me, so I won't attach the DC. I'll attach a fairy here. It's much better because I need the choice band regardless. There's no way I will hit my last elixir because these are the 2 fair energy in my hand, and I've used 2 super rod. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this is literally my only Xerneas, which means I actually do attach the DC. Because the other Xerneas will never attack. Oh boy, we don't have choice bands in this deck. I think we've lost the game. Yeah, prize to band. I was going to say we had 1 Oranguru draw for it. But that's not going to happen now. Thin the card. Don't need it. Don't need this card either that we're drawing, but still. I still have to retreat to play around. He should have game here. Damn. Lost to the like. Oh, wait. We hit 200? Wait. I mean, we still lose to the same things. We lose to energy, Lycanroc, but I didn't realize we had 200 on board. Oh, of course we had 200 on board. Good old misplays. Well, that's Lysandre if he wants it. Our teammates is also game. Yeah. Keep thinking about Lysandre, forgetting that he can just Lycanroc things. There it is. Bring up Lele. Big old GX attack. Going to be dealing 270, I think. Yeah. He got us. He got us. The option to put down that Lele. Needed it at the time, but also lost me the game. Interesting. How did we lose that game? It was the It was the corner on the Rockruff that lost us the game, and us missing DC that turn. If we KO that, if we KO that Rockruff, he has no more energy on his board, and we just, well, he has 1 energy on a Regirock, and we just storm the game. But oh well. I think it all falls back to us only playing 3 Garden and not 4. One of those things where they always seem to be in my late game hands, and they never seem to be in my early game hands. Potentially the teammates could become Fairy Garden, but teammates has been good so far. Let's have a third game and see where this gets us. I would normally put Lycanroc as a favourable matchup for us. In my head, at least. Although it is a turn 2 pressure 200 HP Pokemon, so maybe it's not as set in stone. The fact that he plays Regirock is important. Speaking of Regirock, okay, we're up against Grampa Garb, it looks like. And our hand is 6 items. Fantastic. Phenomenal. Classic. TYVM. Seven items. Very good. What? Oranguru save me. I want Oranguru to find me exactly energy or N. These are the 2 cards I want. Uh-oh, Brigette lagging. Here we go. Playing items against Garb. What a scrubbins. I still want to put the Exp.Share on Regirock. I'm a hopeful dreamer that it will get out the active before it gets knocked out. Because we just drew the N. Hiya! No. Okay. Let's pass. Just 80 turn 1. Casual. Playing around Garb perfectly. Okay. Fan Club means they're probably a Grampa rather than an espeon, I would imagine. Which means we can discard this Mewtwo quite happily. Okay. Beware. Beware can deal 120 with Rake It In, which isn't a knockout. So, let's all breathe a sigh of relief for that. 2 Orangurus? As many as 2. Interesting. And by interesting, I mean not good. Really, really bizarre. Okay. 10, 12. We're at 120 already. Phenomenal. And if I don't N, he always gets to 13. So I have to N. Because 13 is enough of the HPs to knock us out. And is once again terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. So bad for us. Starting to feel that Regirock might in fact get knocked out. We're at 120 if he wants to attack with Garbodor. Field Blower does nothing. But he's taking the knockout anyway, I would imagine. Unless he wants to Psychic and preserve the energy, but it doesn't seem worth. Are we going to see the Ultra Ball for the Rake It In? just not be Garbodor. He can still instruct for cards. Like a boss. Wow, he attached active. It's much better than us getting knocked out this turn. Even though we have teammates in hand. Let's go rake it in from Beware. Don't ask me how I know that that card has an attack called Rake It In. Too much useless knowledge. I need to draw exactly not an item card. I could discard the teammates, I guess. It would suck though. Whoa. That's good for us. This may be good for us. I think it's good for us. We'll take it. He's already gone through at least one blower. Yeah, one blower. He's playing 2 stage 2s. He may not have space for 2. Maybe. Let's be hopeful. This has been attacked. I can't fend off any more of this jank, can I? I don't know. Let's threaten the Lele and hope that we don't have to use it again. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Do I have to spread the energy here, thinking I'm going to Geomancy? Yes. Yes, I do, Lally. So bad that we have to put down 2 Leles in this matchup. It's really, really bad for us. This item can go, I think. Bored of navigating these terrible hands. Just give me a good hand, please, game. One, 2, 3, 4, 8. So he can KO everything but our Leles. But a Field Blower or a Choice Band gets him there anyway. I can't retreat out. So Oranguru is going to be taking his first prizes of the game, which is mental. Well. As if I'm losing to an Oranguru right now. There's the second blower for our lovely Exp.Share. Why do they attach to Beware? Why? You have 2 Garbodors right there. Have you seen my discard pile? Madman. Here comes the Lele. Prefer to not be end if I'm honest. I have teammates plus Super Rod. Ooh, he's going to Lysandre something. Why would you do this? Don't Lysandre me. It's such a bad play. Such a bad play. Why would you do this? You've attached to a Beware. This is really not good play from our opponent. If I had a stadium, I would retreat and attack with a Lele here with the DCE. Don't really feel like digging for one. I could Lysandre a Garbodor, but this always has the energy on it. At least I force him to have another energy in hand. I feel like he has another DC. I feel like he has DC in hand. If he was happy to attach to Beware over a Garbodor. Then again, they've made some questionable plays this whole game. We'll just stream and see what happens. Another DCE out the bag. Here's Beware. Yeah, there's the DC. There's the end. Getting us out of our teammate's Super Rod hand. But we have Xerneas teammates anyway, so it's pretty okay. Ooh, Elixir. Is Elixir something that I actually need to teammate? Oh, teammates first anyway, always. The thing is, I want to grab a Fairy Energy so I can attach this turn. I think I Elixir first. So I could teammates grab a Rod and a Fairy. Or a Rod and a DCE, that's what I could grab. Yeah, that's probably our best thing to do. We increase our Elixir odds. 10, and I actually need to get DCE here. This seems good. Oh baby, 4 targets, that'll do. This is Regirock. But I might need Psychic this game. We are running out of Xerneas breaks. This feels really bad. Yeah. Gross. That moment when you think you need to Psychic during a game. Ooh, good top deck. Guarantees another turn of live stream. As long as we don't get end. It's actually the perfect 4-card hand for us here. Apart from Oricorio. Perfect 3 of 4-card hand. Okay, we're going to get end anyway. We currently have the Monkey to fall back on, the Banana Master, but he could always Garbatoxin up. I feel like he doesn't play Garbatoxin because of, wow, we drew into, again, a very good hand. He has lots of Garbodors though, which means we still probably lose this game, which is crazy to think, but normally, because Garbodor is paired with other 2-prize Pokemon, we can get away with it. But because he is just playing lots of single prize attackers, getting through an army of Garbs is terrible for us, especially when our opening hand made us put in like 7 items turn 1. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I can't Lysandre off the bat. So again, it's a teammate's turn. Be another one of these. We actually have really good odds for this now. I can put in another 3 dudes as well, which would be pretty good. Elixir's coming in clutch. 6 and 18. Very high odds. Yeah. Well, this is a way to keep streaming attackers, I guess. We're still going to need to finish him with something though, which is worrying. I don't know how we finish him. Unless it's like a random psychic on a stuffle or something. Oh, the troubles just keep on coming. Don't end me. Don't have end. Oh, he's going to Ultra Ball instruct. Ultra Ball for the rake it in. He should instruct first. I imagine because he got rid of Sycamore and DC, he's looking for N. I can only imagine that. Teammates has been super important this game for sure. Choice band onto the Beware. There's the N. What a troll. Choice banding Beware. Wow, again it's a very good N for us. Time like this when Ninja Boy seems like a really good card. Know what I mean? We can draw 3. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is where the cracks begin to show though. We're out of elixirs. And that's a hand. All we can do is pound through this guy. We're at the whim of the Garbodor player now. Which is scary times. Scary times ahead. We only have 1 Lysandre left as well, because 3 VS Seeker and 1 Lysandre in the discard. So if we're Lysandring, it has to be for game. I can't hit the Lele twice, so you can just retreat and then I lose. Unless Oricorio can get me a game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oricorio could well be our win condition here. Whoa, why? Why you do this? This is game losing. This is game losing plays. Absolute game losing plays. 6, 7, 8. Amazing game losing plays. We did actually draw the Oricorio. Oricorio could have been our sneaky win condition. Oh. Probably, definitely would have been our sneaky win condition, but our opponent played themselves. Bravo! Okay. We will go for one more game, because that one, don't say it didn't count, because it was still really hard for us. But it's not really a real archetype, and our opponent seemed to play themselves a little bit there. We'll see. Dread 91 will be our final battle of the day. And we are going to flip the coin. We've not been drawing too well so far, and you can see in the weaknesses, the inconsistencies is like something in the back of my mind that I feel, even though we are a full basic deck, even though we can get going super nicely, there are still these awkward hands that we have to navigate through quite a bit. And you have to be content to be slow sometimes. Oh, we're up against Talon Ninja, definitely not Volcanion. Oh boy, awkward matchup for us for sure. Take the mulligan. Hell yeah. Well, they led Froakie, which is a good thing. So we don't have to deal with Talonflame Break. Which means our ramp doesn't have to be much ramp, if that makes sense. We pretty much like Geomancy once, if at all. Ooh, whoa. I didn't notice that the first time round, but we have lost the game, boys and girls. Oh no. He just doesn't know it yet, but he's won the game. Okay. We really need to tempo out on him. We don't see that happening with also 2 prized elixirs. Very good. It's So if I has 3, 4, 5, and Rod, I think. No, Rod's in hand. And 9, 10, 12. It's the last prize. I can't see what my last prize is. It can't be important, can it? Surely not. The important stuff's already been prized, so. Cry. So many tears. You know when I said that was our last game? Rage quit. Bubble pass. Bubble pass. Bubble. Ah. All these Greninjas drawing cards. Just feels wrong. Able to discard a Talonflame. Must be nice. 20 damage with Supernatural Dance though. Oh boy. He knows what's up. Bubble gets the tails. Great news. Lysandre is literally our best play. Tears for days. Maybe he doesn't have energy. Maybe he doesn't have energy. Double Frogadier. Sycamore into 2 Frogadiers. Oh, he didn't have energy. My goodness. My goodness, boys and girls. As if I have to Ultra Ball away. I was like, please don't make me get rid of my Super Rod. It's all I have. This guy has to be cycled so often. I can't even Sycamore. I need to just take Hex, I guess. Oh, I don't even know. Maybe I do need to just sack this Rod. It's so grim. I'm not going to instruct because I don't think there's anything I want to draw before the Sycamore. It would be things like Xerneas is, but I can't draw those. We missed Stadium, so we are again dancing our way to tears. Can I play cards? Yes, I can. Can I Ultra Ball? Can Ultra Ball away? I can't get rid of another Rod. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't Oranguru. I'll still play these cards. They are really bad. Come on, more Greninja dead draws. That's all we need. That's all we need. Get around this splash energy. We're chilling. Okay, found himself Greninja. 2 Greninjas. It means he's not going to duplicate at least. No dupes is actually really good for us. There's the attachment. Tanky Oricorio can take this like a champ. We can't win this game, surely. Surely there's no way we win this game with 1 Xerneas. Surely. That was our only window, him dead drawing. Ooh, he's gone active. Going active is good for us. Stop this nonsense game. Stop it. Just stop it. Seriously. Can't do anything. Can't Sycamore my only rod, can I? If I hit DCE Stadium, it's probably my only window to win. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Thanks to the dances we get there, I guess it's my only window. Or elixirs. We only have one, but we only need one. So that's why I'm okay putting the fairies back in. Kind of okay. DC Stadium. Elixir. We can't dig to find it. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, but I can't move. And I can't, because of the stitching, I can't guru draw. So we're just going to plonk some damage over it, where it belongs. How many Froakies is this guy prized? Maybe he's prized 2 Froakies. If he prized 2 Froakies, he definitely should have duplicated. It was so greedy for him to not to. Whatevs. So, this gets knocked out, right? Forces me to promote a new... okay. Yeah, this is fair, to be honest. He gets around the Exp.Share, but I don't think he cares about it too much. Oh, he's happy to stitch. That's really not correct. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12 isn't enough, so it has to be this. I can't afford to Sycamore my breaks away. I can afford to Sycamore away my Regirock. Come on, Stadium. You can do it. It's another game where we're 15 cards left in deck and still stadiumless. The absolute dream. We were stitched again, so again I can't dig. Right, you're definitely getting one counter on you. Probably both, to be honest. Sad times. I don't even mind knocking this out with a splash. This is the threat, 'cause it has the Froakie. Can he double Shuriken? If he can, I'm really sad. Okay, he can't double Shuriken. This is good. Hopefully he doesn't take a Froakie from the prize. Hopefully he doesn't have second ban, second break, second water energy. Okay, well that's a second energy. Okay. Wait. Did I not do Exp.Share? Whoops. Both lele's used, so I can't dig for Hex. So I guess I have to N. N and hope he doesn't find a break, and that we can find a Xerneas off our prize. Oh, he always finds a break. Hope he can't find an energy. Well, there's a Xerneas off our prize. Step 1. Hopefully, okay, he found himself a Froakie. That wasn't from the splash energy, it was from something else. Just from hand. So he just goes Exp.Share. Garden. We have to weather the storm and carry that Froakie. Maybe it doesn't have fairy energy. Sorry, water energy. That's the prayers. That's the stuff that dreams are made of. No, he has water energy. The tears. The sadness. Scooped. Why would he scoop? Why would you scoop there? Oh, that was such a Beetle game. Such a clown game. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Well, weird games with Xerneas. You guys have learned nothing about the deck, I feel, because we've played against Greninja, which I've said Machoke can make that auto win. We're playing against Beware Garb, which was actually very difficult. And what else did we play? We beat the Metagross. That was a good game. That was actually like a worth watching game. And then we lost to the Lycanroc thingamajig. So yeah, when you face more meta decks, the deck is better. So try it out yourselves. See if you can run on the ladder and find metagame decks, because apparently that ain't happening for me today. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys, for the Xerneas Break deck, the deck I played in Indy. I hope I shed some light on the deck, but I don't think I really did. But anyway, leave your comments down below. It's only going to be a couple more decks in this format, and we're going to be moving on to Burning Shadows. I've actually spent all afternoon, evening, making the slides for the set review, and it's going to be one of our best ever, I feel. So, yeah, definitely a lot to look forward to. Like I say, a couple more vids. I think I'm going to do Volcanion and Grampa updated and stuff like that. Just the stuff we've seen from North America do well, basically. You can expect those to be on the channel. And then heading into, we're thinking, start of next... in 2 weeks' time, I think, it'll be set review. Maybe a bit earlier. It could be end of next week. So, yeah, lots of fun stuff to look forward to. So, sub to the channel if you've not already. Leave a like to this video if you did. But for now, it has been Joe from OmniPoke, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers.